Hello and welcome to Around Town TV. My name is Carla Berlin and my guest, Dr. Verna, has empowered people to excellence for over 20 years around the world. She's the founder of the 30-Day Challenge program. She's a human potential expert, best-selling author, leadership coach, motivational speaker, and here to talk to all of us about girls taking action, Dr. Verna Cornelia Price. Thank you for being here tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Miss Carla. It's good to see you.
Always good to see you. Better in person, of course, but this'll do. We have a special event coming up with Girls Taking Action coming up here on May 21st. But for those who aren't familiar with your program, if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit more.
Sure. Oh, sure. Well, first of all, let me just personally and publicly say thank you, Miss Carla. Last year when the pandemic hit and we were days away from our annual fundraiser, and I thought, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then my good friend, Miss Buffy, said, you may want to think about, how you could do this. And I called her and I said, Buffy, I think I want to do something virtual. And she said, well, I think we should call Miss Carla. And so we called Miss Carla, and sure enough, we worked it out. And I think we were one of the first ones.
You were
like one of the very first organizations to go virtual with our fundraiser.
You absolutely were. Yes.
And we didn't know, I didn't know what I was doing, Carla. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how it would work. All I knew was that, really where there's a will, the old people used to say, where there's a will, there's a way. And in Girls Taking Action, we call that working it out. So I'm like, we're going to work this thing out. We had our MC, BC was like, okay, well, we'll do it, Dr. Verna. What do you think? I'm like, we're just going to go for it. And our board jumped on, our girls got, and even our last year, even our boys and my husband and the Boys of Hope team, we all did that thing. And it was so much fun. And I was hoping, Miss Carla, and it went really well, by the way. I mean, last year we still raised $75,000. Really.
Wow.
I mean,
that was
fantastic. And for me, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where I was so thankful to have community partners like yourself and, Miss Buffy and others just to jump on and say, hey, let's do this thing. And let's just go for it, right? Because there's no script anymore. We can just make this thing up. We can we can just be innovative, right?
Absolutely. And we were all kind of reinventing live streaming and virtual events. And it was so great to be able to partner with you. And since yours was the very first event, fundraiser that we did take live. And since then in 2020, we produced over 51 total live streams.
Wow.
Yes.
So we kicked it off.
You
Isn't that amazing?
It was.
So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much. And then also you came back on board for this year. I was hoping we'd be live this year, but we're still streaming this year. And for those of you who are listening and watching, Girls Taking Action, I started now 16 years ago. Wow. With one phone call from North High School, located in North Minneapolis. And the phone call went something like, Dr. Verna, our girls really need positive role models. And at that time, if you remember, there was a rise in girl gangs. There was increased violence in schools by girls. A lot of girls were getting, and they still are, unfortunately, getting suspended. And there was just a lot going on. And so the school principal said, Dr. Verna, will you please come and help? And they called me and actually a whole group of other women leaders like Natalie Johnson Lee. And I remember Neva Walker. And we all went and we talked to these girls. And I can remember that moment, Miss Carla, where I'm in front of 300 girls. And I'm doing what I do. I'm doing what God has blessed me with a gift to do, communicate with people, empower and energize people, right? And really help you to be hopeful and to think hopeful and to be positive, right? I mean, that's what I do. And here's these girls and they're looking at me and their little brown faces, right? Most of them are brown faces and they're looking at me and I just think to myself, I've got to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked out of the auditorium that day thinking to myself, I have to do something. And I didn't know what. I didn't quite know what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But I just had this like, I've got to do something. I've got to reach those girls.
Yes.
I've got to make sure that not one of those girls not have opportunities. I mean, I just had this like sense that I need to do something. And so, months later, the principal called me again and said, well, will you come by yourself and talk? I talked to the girls again, I thought. And then I said to the principal, you know what, let me do something. Let me do something for my community. Let me do something for our girls, right? Let me create something for you that actually will allow our girls to be exposed to other women leaders like yourself, like myself, like women leaders across the Twin Cities. And I'm hoping that our women leaders from across the Twin Cities, and there's a lot of them who have spoken to our girls, career coaches, leadership speakers, volunteer mentors, right? I said, let me expose our girls to women leaders. Because you know what? A girl might look at me, Miss Carla, and say, well, I can't quite relate to Dr. Verna. But I can relate. I
can't believe anyone would say that, but
right? They may not want to be like me, but maybe Miss Natalie, or maybe Miss Gabrielle, or maybe Miss Dorothy, or maybe Miss Buffy, or maybe Miss Carla, or Miss Mookie. So in other words, I wanted to give our girls an opportunity to be exposed to a variety. And I was just talking to a group of women from 3M, and 3M is coming on as one of our sponsors for our STEM, working on a STEM program for our girls, and Medtronic, and these other companies that want to help, right? And here's the reality is that our girls, we want them to be in STEM careers, but how are they going to do that if they've never seen another woman in a STEM career? If they don't even know what does it mean to have a STEM career, they have to see it, in the flesh. You have to see it live. And even though we're streaming right now, at least we're face to face, looking at each other and talking to each other, right? So I told this principal, if you will let me, bring women leaders with me, let me have other women leaders help me do this work. If you will let me take our girls off site, I need them to leave North Minneapolis, leave North High School. I need to take them to other places, take them to see the corporate world, take them to see, ballet at the Northrop, take them, just expose them to a variety of, experiences across work and culture and community. If you let me do that, and then if you would stay out of my business while I do it, because I know how to, I'm a professor, I'm a teacher. Like I know how to teach young people. I know how to reach them. If you would just allow me to do that, I can guarantee you, results. And it was resounding. Like we saw a 75% decrease in suspensions in our girls in year one. 75%.
That's
67% increase in their GPA.
And here's 57.
Yes. And here's what I discovered, Miss Carla. They just needed a little bit of attention. They just needed somebody to say to them, you are valuable. You're worth it.
And I care about you.
I care about you.
Yeah.
Right? You matter to me.
Care. Yes. You matter to me. You matter to the world. You matter to this community.
Absolutely.
You're our future.
And check this out, Miss Carla, without me wanting something from you. I don't want nothing from you. Right. I don't want nothing from you. Right. So in other words, I'm not trying to manipulate you and scandalize. Nothing. I just want you to know that you are God's creation, and that you're beautiful, and that you're valuable, and you matter, and that you were born with power. And that's what I tell all of our girls. You know what? You're born with power. You and I, we were just talking about kind of how, our girls grow up, and you were talking about your family and your mom and dad. I think that's an amazing story.
Yep, and some people know this and some don't, because I do openly. I'm very transparent about how I grew up. I grew up of modest means, and my parents moved out to the Mounds View School District because it was one of the best in the country, not only the best in the state as a public school, and they wanted to give us kids every opportunity. But when my parents were young, they both came from modest means, and their families really, like my mom's mom would get evicted a lot from apartments, and so she went into the Navy, married my dad. They got engaged when they were 19, married when they were 20, just so they can go into the Navy together. And so she could be with them because they didn't have technology, and letters took a long time. And, because of those kinds of stories and that power and them believing in each other and supporting each other and growing together, and they did have good foundations and good parents that do what you do for all these young ladies, they made it. They were able to climb and create and leave a legacy for my brother and I.
Right. And what's lovely about that story is that even though they came from modest means, they kept working on it. Right? Keep working on it. And for our girls, some of our girls, they come from some complex situations.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
We're talking a lot about racial disparities. The pandemic has just opened up the window, has unveiled
a lot
the inequities, the racial inequities
Right.
that exist in our community. Well, for a lot of our girls, and 90% of our girls, in a regular year, I don't call a pandemic a regular year. In a regular year, we have about 300 girls in our program, right?
Wow.
And of those 300 girls in our program, 90% of them are brown girls, right? They're brown, they're African American, they're East African, they're Asian, they're Latina, they're Hmong. They are, they're shades of brown girls, right? And some of them come from some really complex situations and from generations of the results of racial inequality, right? Generations of it.
Yes.
And so when you've had generations of your family not graduating from high school, or no one's ever gone to college, or here's something else. This is fascinating to me. And, I studied sociology, and so this is really interesting to me.
So did I.
I know, I love sociology. I actually I'm a sociologist kind of wannabe, I think.
I have a degree in sociology, but I didn't do anything with it. I just am fascinated with it. That's probably one of our connections.
When I'm 75, Miss Carla Jean Berlin, I'm going to go back to college and get a master's degree in sociology when I'm 75.
My dad did. That's when he got honored for his. Yep. See?
Why not? Yep. Why not? Because I like sociology, right?
Yes.
But, when we think about like the makeup of how people live and work and the whole idea of work, the world of work.
Right.
Right. So in sociology, when you talk about how we learn things implicitly and explicitly, so here we are, we're standing in front of the girls and we're saying, you know what, we're asking you to look at careers. And then here sits my girl. She's from generations of poverty.
Right.
Her family's living from paycheck to paycheck or welfare check to welfare check. No one's ever gone to college.
Right.
As a matter of fact, she may not even have ever seen anyone get up and go to work on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And then here I am, and I'm in front of you saying, okay, I want you to have a career. So then you have to say, stop. So, I mean, these are my lessons learned along the way, right?
Yes, right.
So I got to say, hold up, Dr. Verna, right? Back up and see where she's at. And so here, my lesson learned over these 16 years and over 5,000 girls, and for those, who are watching, Girls Taking Action, we've been in the Twin City metro area. We have been in the suburbs. We have been in Chicago and Detroit. We were in Atlanta. We have a chapter there. We've gone internationally with our chapter in Guatemala. We have partnership chapters in Kenya. We just bought on our newest chapter in Africa, which is in Ghana.
Wow.
We have a budding chapter that we're still developing in Liberia. So this is not like just one small thing.
No.
It's really kind of blossomed out.
Okay.
And my big lesson learned from our girls is that I've got to take my girl wherever she is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, you have impressive sponsors, some big impressive sponsors right here from the state of Minnesota.
we
And
do.
and there are global companies. So that
Yes.
speaks to where
Absolutely.
you are. Yes.
Absolutely. So Medtronic, who's our diamond sponsor, of course, is a, it's a global organization, a global company. And my goal is to make sure that, every girl anywhere in the world can have access to Girls Taking Action. Because I know what I put in it. I know that I took like the best of Dr. Verna and I and I infused it into the curriculum. I infused it into our way of being with the girls.
Right.
And I mean, just this morning, and I want our companies, all of our companies, I think every business should be supporting Girls Taking Action. Just, what you're talking about, women falling out of the workplace with the pandemic, and the inequities and inequalities that exist around girls and women. Well, you know what? Just stop talking about it and start investing in girls and women.
Absolutely.
Period.
And Dr. Verna, Kimbra Ness wrote, "You have blessed and enriched and inspired so many." A great quote is, "We can't become who we would like to be while we are still being who we were." Good quote, yes. Kimbra. Very supportive. And, there's a nice group following us. And I know there's a lot of people that support you. And I want them to find out how they can support Girls Taking Action, this event coming up. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that as well, and how they can reach out to you if they want to donate or sponsor or partner.
See, that's why I need you, Carla Jean, because you I'm so passionate about it. I would just talk about it. I was like,
right. And I'm like, no, we got to support this program. How do we do that, Dr. Verna?
And so, all right. So, I have never and never will ask one girl to pay for this program.
Good.
Won't do it. Can't do it.
Right.
I literally I can't do it.
No.
Right. So, and I know that Minnesota, we're very giving people.
Yes,
I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. And Minnesotans have, over these years, they've given us a lot. I mean, because every year I am perpetually asking, our community, support our girls. Support our girls. It's very simple. Just support them. Whether you support them at $25 a month level, or you support them at $1 million a month level. You know what I mean? I mean, just however.
Every dollar counts.
Every dollar counts, because I am committed to making sure that our girls get this program. So we only have one fundraiser a year, just one. It's this one's just May 21st, because they're a lot of work, by the way.
Right.
So,
yes. And it's
coming up May 21st.
a.m. and we will post the link, so that you can watch it. And with the sponsors of Medtronic, 3M, Best Buy, and General Mills, correct?
Yes.
There will be some fun interactive stuff, but I interrupted, so.
Oh, no, that's good. So for those of you who are, we're going to have a live audience for the 21st, right? May 21st. Right. And in the live audience, to register and or to give or to donate, you just text GTA 2021. And then you're going to text the number. Tell me the number again, Carla. 41444. 3 4s. It's in the description above this video what to do. 41444. Yeah, I think I tried it. Carla and I were trying it on,
and it went through and it worked. Woohoo! And you also, I know if you're messaging in the comments here, I have also I will tag Dr. Verna's name, but she will see the comments. She will respond, or her team will. Absolutely. But you can also private message her or myself. And you can also, and I will make sure you get all that information when we're done. But whether it's $1 or $1 million, it matters to these young ladies.
Absolutely.
They need your support. Girls Taking Action. was founded by Dr. Verna Cornelia Price. She is a well-known author. She is a human potential expert, leadership coach, motivational speaker, also founder of the 30-Day Change Program. She has helped girls take action around the world for over 20 years.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And we continue to do so. And once a girl is a part of our program, she's always a part of our program. So, and I let our girls know, like, wherever you are in life, if you ever, we are a network. We are a network. And for those of you who are listening, who think, well, I want to volunteer, Dr. Verna, of course you are. Just go to our website, giaction.org, and sign up to be a career coach. You know, maybe you're in a really cool career that you want our girls to learn about, or maybe you're in a career that is a career that you just are passionate about and you want to tell our girls about it. But be a career coach, of course. You know, work with a group of girls, share what you know. Maybe you want to tell your leadership story.
Yes.
Right? We all have one. You know, there's no perfect life.
No.
There's no perfect journey. We all go through this, you know, up and down and through and over, and you know, sometimes we do.
Cartwheels.
We do.
Yeah.
You know, and for those people in life who are trying to be perfect, it's over. It's over. You know, you were born, perfection was done. You know.
Well, you know, one of the things I admired about my father was he was a big proponent of women. You know, a lot of people say they are, and they might or might not be, but he always supported and empowered women, not only in the workplace, but personally and professionally. And I remember I was signing up one time for this seminar and it was expensive, about a very well-known leader in our community here who was going to speak on life balances. And, you know, like how to manage a family and work full time and run businesses. And my dad said, save your money. I said, why? And he said, there's no such thing. He said, so-and-so who's speaking is divorced. There's probably a reason she's divorced. You can't be X, Y, and Z of a company and have a family of 5 and have a happy marriage and have there's no such thing as balance.
Right.
And he's like, so I can save your 250 or whatever it was. And this was like decades ago. He's like, just know that there's not. Just try. Do your best every single day. And if you see something slipping, you know, put your energy. Just always do a check-in.
Absolutely. And girls taking action, what I call that is work it out. Every day you get up and what you do is you work it out.
Yes.
You know, and you realize there's no perfection and you just keep on trying. And we tell our girls too, you know what? No, you know what? Your mom might be struggling, but the reality is that it's not your mom's responsibility to do your homework.
Right.
So I refuse for you to use your complicated situation as an excuse for you not to graduate from high school. Right?
Yeah.
Your mama was not there when you decided to, you know, to be messing around with Pookie.
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Good point. Your mama wasn't. No. You were the one that got yourself in the situation.
Yeah.
So don't use your situation and your family, you know, challenges as an excuse for you not making good decisions about your life. Now that's a really hard message for our girls.
Yes, it's easy to take that victim mentality, especially someone in those shoes.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I can't have you cannot use your personal power and say that you're a victim. You cannot. No. Because once you understand, because, you know, we teach our girls 4 things about themselves over and over and over again. We teach her that she is valuable.
Okay.
We teach our girl that she is important, that she is lovable, and that she's extremely powerful. And we teach her that she can use her power right now, this very minute, to change her life. Now, I'm saying we teach our girls that. The truth is that we all need that message.
Oh, yes.
Like every day. We need to know, when I woke up this morning, I woke up valuable, right? And no matter what anyone says about me or says, you know, to me, you know, I'm still valuable.
Yeah.
because I was created. I'm a human being. I was created. That must mean, but I have something for humanity. And I believe that all of our girls, regardless of their situation, they have something for humanity. So for our May 21st event, really what we're really doing with all, and we just have a wonderful set of sponsors. We could use more.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes.
You
We
know,
want to hit that over. What goal are we going for this year?
we're going for 125,000.
Let's do it.
And I would say at least, I always say at least,
Yes.
because you always think bigger.
Right.
And so we're going for at least 125,000. But really, the goal is to make sure that our girls have what they need. I'll give you an example. So we have one of our girls, she's from North Minneapolis. She's first generation college student. She graduates and she goes to college.
Okay.
Well, when our girls go to college, what I do is we check on them. Because you know what, they've been with us in their high school program since, and Girls Taking Action starts in 6th grade now. So your girl can be a part of the program all the way from 6th grade to 12th grade.
Wow.
So we know her, right?
Right.
We know who she is. She trusts us, right? We've built a relationship. We are what's considered caring adults. We are mentors in her life, coaches. So I'm checking in with my girl, and she says, she just doesn't sound herself. And I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? And bless her heart. So we give all of our graduating seniors a scholarship. And so for those of you who want to, support on that end, you can support a girl for a year, right? If you support it, it's $1,500 to support one girl through the program for the year.
Wow.
So maybe you'll say, Dr. Verna, just sign me up for $1,500 for the year. I'll pay $300 every quarter, or however you want to work it out. Fine.
Right.
We would love that. We would love that. Or you may want to put dollars into our scholarship fund. Every girl who graduates from high school with us, and our graduation rate, by the way, is 98%.
Wow.
98% of our girls we get through high school without babies and to college. All right. Big deal.
Huge.
And it's hard work. It's hard work, right?
Right.
So she gets to college, and I'm talking to her, and bless her heart, she used her scholarship money to, buy a computer and to get to college. And I said, well, what do you need? And she says, well, I don't really have anything for my room. I'm like, what do you mean you don't have anything for your room? So here she is, bless her heart. She's at college. She has nothing. She has no spending money. She's like, I need a mirror for my room. Just basics, like a nice bed set for your bed, or your cool stuff for your room. And you know what, Miss Carla? I'm like, listen, I said, you will send me your list today. Send me the list. And we will do the little, online order thing and have your stuff delivered to you tomorrow. Because I cannot have you. Right. You made it to college. You're a first generation student. You made it to college.
Right.
Then why should you be in college just suffering?
Right.
And I fussed at her too. I'm like, what took you so long? Right. What took you so long to, to let me know what was going on? So we stay, it's not, we're not just like, have a program and then we drop the girls. No, once they're with us, they're with us.
Well, and that's who you are in the community, your outreach, your mentorship. I mean, this show was supposed to be 2 Tuesdays ago when the Chauvin verdict came, and nope, the community needed you. You are a leader. You are somebody that people count on, they look up to, they trust. And that's so important, to be leading an organization of Girls Taking Action, because you live, eat, and breathe. You are the program, and these kids need that. And you bring people into it that are. And in order for people to support this, in the description, you will see where you can text, but you can also reach out to us privately. Any dollar amount matters. You don't have to. If you can't watch May 21st from 8:30 to 9:30, that's okay. Or if you can't be a part of, you're not a part of the big sponsors to be a part of the live interactive audience, that's okay. You can donate today. You can donate tomorrow. You can donate every day. If you can't do 1,500 in one chunk, split that up.
Yep.
Or, the $1,000, split that up if it's quarterly or monthly or whatever works. Anything. And if you can't do it all, that, just do what you can to support these young ladies. It is so important. And what you're doing is making a difference, is making an impact. And I know we've had a nice following online. So I'm hoping we'll get even more and more sponsors from here and some big leaders in Minnesota that have been online watching. So
absolutely.
Education and people who support you, Dr.
Yes. I appreciate that. Every once in a while, someone will say to me, well, what's the return on the investment, Dr. Verna? There are people who ask those questions. What's the return on the investment? And what I would say is that anytime, like all of the research says, that anytime you reach a girl, the education of girls is critical to our society, because girls become women. And we have a way of kind of connecting to community. So, all of the research points to the fact that girls, when educated, they turn around and they begin to bring that back to community. So they don't just get educated for themselves. I remember one of our girls, when she went to college, her mom went back to college. And then her brother went to college. So because she ignited something in her family that, if she can do it, then we can do it also. So I think it's really the return on the investment is that if we are educating girls, and for us, it's not just educating of the mind, it's that soul, it's that spirit, that we're mentoring up confident young women.
Emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, the whole, and then it'll help with the financial piece. Yes.
The whole girl. Yes. And we do teach them how to manage their money too. As a matter of fact.
I said that should be taught in school.
I think so too, but all of them don't take the finance class. So.
Right. Well, and even though we had finance or accounting or whatever, they taught you how to, of course it was by hand back then, balance your checkbook, but they don't talk to you about money.
Right. And today's girl, she doesn't even see money, right? Most of what she sees is a plastic card. Like how do you manage the plastic card, right? So we cover all of those things. So the answer to that question of return on investment is that when you invest in a girl, you're investing in positive change in your whole community. Because whatever is happening with that community, that girl is going to become, a leader in your community who turns around and begins to create change. Because that's just how girls work. Right. We get passionate about it, and then we want to do. I cannot tell you. Just last week, one of our Somali girls called out of nowhere, and she said, "Hi, Dr. Verna." And I'm like, "Hey," she said, "You haven't talked to me for a while." She graduated in 2015. She says, "Well, I'm starting my own health and wellness business now, Dr. Verna, and I want to help college students, who are dealing with depression while they're in college. Wow. And I want to help them be better. And I want to talk with them through that." And, she started telling me this business plan. And then she says to me, because remember what you taught us, Dr. Verna, you taught us affirmations. You taught us how to talk to ourselves and how to think about ourselves and how to become more confident women. And she said, "And I will never forget that, Dr. Verna. I will never forget that. And I'm putting it into my life right now, like out of nowhere."
Yeah. It's tools they'll use for life. And I realized that being behind the scenes at your live virtual event last year, when you were saying the affirmations out loud, I got the chills because these kids were passionate about it.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to our pre-production meeting a few weeks ago with MK and Nahara, right? Did I say that right?
Yep, Nyara.
Nayara. Oh, so and I was so impressed with both of them. I was saying I wanted to steal them both and take them home, because what you've done and the impact you had, and the fact that they're staying in the program and giving back, and watching them as young women and just powerful leaders, it was really cool for me to be around them. And I could tell the whole team felt like that.
Oh,
man.
Very
impressed.
Yeah, and they came back, MK graduated from Hamlin University and came back. And then Nyara graduated from Spelman College and came back. And so that full circle, return on investment, right? That full circle back into, and I tell them, now it's your turn, right? I mean, I started it, and I have taught you well, and now it's your turn. It's your turn to now mentor up the next group of young women, and to do that, of course, we need dollars, and when I first started Girls Taking Action, I thought, I'll just do it myself. I'm a consultant, I'll just fund it myself.
Yeah.
Right? And my husband's looking at me like, okay, we got 4 children.
Right.
So if you're going to fund all of the girls, who's going to fund our own children? So, I mean, this is like the realities of entrepreneurship, right? Because when you're passionate, you just want to do it. And so, and so I thought, well, I'll just invest in it myself. And then I realized, and someone said to me, they said, Dr. Verna, when you invite people to give, what you're doing is you're providing them with an opportunity.
Yes.
To invest, and then to invest in something that makes them feel good.
Right.
And you invite them to partner with you with this work.
And I'm inviting everybody online to give and to partner with Girls Taking Action, to partner with Dr. Verna and her team of people, myself, who's behind the scenes helping make sure this gets out to all of you. What she's doing and the impact she makes is so huge. A friend, Patricia Sagert, who's in education and a big nonprofit leader in the Twin Cities, said, full circle, you get what you give.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
It is absolutely true. It's absolutely true. And of course, my hope is that our girls, as they circle back, they too will become, funders. They too will become donors. They all too start giving into the program.
Right.
But what I say to our women, especially our women, and interestingly, our men, have stepped up. I've got some wonderful supportive men out there who have stepped up
and said, the men's program through your husband and brother Wayne, some impressive men on that side as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Girls Taking Action is a part of a larger organization called the Power of People Leadership Institute, which is co-founded by my husband and I. And the Institute has Girls Taking Action, which was our first program that I founded. And then we founded a program called the Replanting Program, which actually works where my husband and a team would go into prisons, teach my change work and my power work, the 4 kinds of powerful people, adders, subtractors, multipliers, and dividers. They would teach that to men who were incarcerated and teach them how to change their life while incarcerated. And then when they came home, they continued to work with those men to find jobs, to find housing, reunite with their families, and really what we call replant themselves into the community as positive contributing citizens, right?
Right.
And then we have our Boys of Hope program where we're doing the same work with our boys. And we could be having another conversation about those other programs as well.
I would love that.
Because they're all so important to our community. And when I think about and this is how just as like a little secret to our audience, this is how I stay grounded. Okay, this is how I stay grounded, because there's so much work to be done. Right? We are living in, racial unrest. We are living in, the impact of the pandemic. There's a lot, social injustice. There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
And so how I stay grounded in this work is that I get up in the morning, Miss Carla, and I say to myself, okay, Verna Cornelia Price, what is it that God told you to do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What part are you supposed to do? And so I figured if I do my part with our girls, if I make sure that those 300 girls, our graduating classes, they range between 20 and 45 girls. If I can make sure that every last one of those girls graduated from high school and go to college, and not just go to college, but actually complete college,
Right.
right? And then circle back into their community, I've done what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how I figure is that if we all really said yes to doing our part,
Mm-hmm.
then we're good.
Right.
We're good. And so, with this fundraiser on the 21st, really all we're asking for the community is like partner with us so we can keep doing our part. That's it.
Absolutely. Whether you're from a big corporation watching this, like a Medtronic, 3M, Best Buy, General Mills that already are sponsors,
Yes.
we will take big corporate sponsors. We will take. You don't have to be a big corporation. If you're a small, medium-sized company and you want to give $1 million, we'll take it.
Yes.
And that's important. And in fact, when you were talking about the young lady who's in college who needs stuff, as you know, both my parents just passed. I'm sure I have stuff that's new that if there's a list that you didn't cover all of it, let me know.
Right. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll get her.
Because now that they're grown ups, they're moving, they're getting in new apartments. I mean, they're forever college or something.
I have furniture.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I have so many things I was just thinking, who do I give that to? Well, there you go.
Yeah. Wow. Well, let's talk about that because we may have some girls that actually need that.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about something that you said just now.
About sponsors and
yes. But okay, so here's a really interesting and fun trend that we're having coming up. So we've got like major companies who are sponsoring, right? In 3M and Best Buy and Medtronic and Marsden Foundation and
fantastic.
Marsden Company, but then now we have some families. So families are actually saying, I want to be a sponsor. And we have, Kim Nelson and her family who stepped up and said, I want to be a platinum sponsor. And, Jeff, Debbie and Jeff Magnuson who said, what, count us in as a family sponsor. So it's really cool to see families kind of get themselves together and say, I want to sponsor. Our family wants to sponsor a girl. Right. Or, our family foundation wants to do this or to do that and to support. So we're seeing more of that happen as well, which to me is really cool because it really is a way to, we talk about investing in community, like authentic community. These are girls that are right next door to you.
Right.
They're
your neighbors. They're your, yes. Yeah. They just need a little attention.
Yeah, that's she's the girl who's she's the girl who might just be selling you your McDonald's burger,
which I love McDonald's.
She's probably in Girls Taking Action. You may ask her, hey, are you in Girls Taking Action? Right. So these are your girls, and for
this is our future.
It really is, and it is, and our girls, mostly being brown girls, guess what? They're our future. They are it, and they need our support to make sure that they can get through. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, this has been fantastic. Is there anything else that we haven't talked about? We've been on 43 minutes. Anything else that we haven't talked about that we need to get out to the public about the program, about what you do, how they can support it?
Sure. So first, May 21st is the actual live event. If they want to be in the live audience, you actually have to register and buy a ticket to be in the audience. Now, let me just tell you, if you're in the live audience, we are going to play. Should we tell them? Do you think we should do it?
Okay. Yeah, we're working on it, but I think it's going to work. So
okay, I think it's going to work.
Yeah.
So we are going to play a virtual heads and tails during the live fundraiser. And, and of course, a live fundraiser, we're asking people to give the whole time because we are really working on raising at least
Only
125,000.
Yeah.
Say it again.
It's your only fundraiser.
It's our only fundraiser.
So let's blow past 125,000.
I agree. I totally agree. Totally agree. So when you register and registration, you have the option of buying a bead, a virtual beads. So to play heads and tails, you have to buy these virtual beads. So when it's time to play heads and tails, instead of heads, and usually, tails right here, we're going to be doing heads and no. So we can actually see you on the screen and see so someone will flip a coin. This is all virtual. And maybe we should try it, Miss Carla. Are we having too much fun? I think we're having
I know we are. We always do, don't we, Dr. Verna?
So we flip a coin. Okay, let's just try. Let's just try.
Sure.
So we'll call it. So you can call it heads or tails.
Tails.
Okay, so tails is going to be the mouth.
Okay.
So what are you going to do? Okay, now you call it.
Heads.
Okay, then I'm out.
Oh, so it was okay. Was it heads when you flipped it?
So to play,
yes,
you have to register to be in the live audience, and then you've got to buy beads. Now, just like we just did that, I might have bought 4 beads, so I can go 4 rounds because I still have a bead left, right?
Right. So the more you buy, the more you can stay in the game.
The more you can stay in the game, and the big winning prize is that you can choose a beach vacation in 4 different places in the world. And now one of them is Hawaii. And let me tell you, I don't get to play the game that morning, but if I won the live audience, I would want to win the Hawaii trip. You hear me? And it's like a 5-day trip that's free, and the hotel and everything included. And
paradise.
You get to have a little paradise for 5 days on the beach with your family, and that's the live audience. Big gift. So I just want people to register, give, support our girls. We're having a lot of fun with it, but the truth is that the bottom line work, it's really serious work, and it's hard work. Our women leaders, Miss Gabrielle, Miss Dorothy, Miss Nayara, just all of them, they're working every day to work with our girls. And of course, right now, we're all virtual. So we're on the screens day in and day out with our girls to make sure that they stay confident and that they stay empowered. And they stay in the education too, because a lot of kids are dropping out of education with virtual learning. So we're working really hard to keep our girls in there academically, but also solid in who they are and their confidence, their heart, soul, and spirit.
And it's so hard during the pandemic. So many people are suffering.
It is.
Emotionally, mentally, and physically. So it's important. That is really a special gift to be able to do that online. And Patricia Sagret, who's been online watching too, she has a special gift for that, of connecting with people during the pandemic online and staying online, staying and, keeping everyone a team. That I admire anyone who can do that, because, way to go. And you've done a great job of that. And I'm honored to be a part of this for the 2nd year. I'm just so grateful. Thank you for including me again.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. And I look forward to the 21st, and it's going to be a big blast, and invite everyone online and tell your friends to go ahead and register.
Share this video, share my posts. It explains where to text to register. If you're not comfortable doing that, or you're not a texter, we email, we talk on the phone, we do it all. So feel free to reach out. We will make that happen. It's been a true honor. My name is Carla Berline, host of Around Town TV, to have Dr. Verna Cornelia Price as my special guest and to talk about girls taking action. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
I have to ask you a favor before we go.
Sure.
Okay, it would not be Girls Taking Action Style if we didn't end with an affirmation. Can we end with an affirmation?
You got it. All right.
So if you're online, go ahead and say this affirmation. This is called a When I Was Born affirmation. All right. Okay. And when you say it, you got to say it with a little attitude. Okay. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll say it, then you say it.
Okay.
With a little, little sweat.
A little attitude. Yeah.
All right. Ready? When I was born.
When I was born.
I was born valuable.
I was born valuable.
When I was born,
When I was born,
I was born important.
I was born important.
When I was born,
When I was born,
I was born lovable.
I was born lovable.
And when I was born,
And when I was born,
I was born extremely powerful.
I was born extremely powerful.
And no matter what anyone has said about me,
And no matter what anyone has said about me,
no matter what anyone has done to me,
and no matter what anyone has done to me,
no matter what I've said about myself,
no matter what I've said about myself,
no matter what I have done to myself,
no matter what I have done to myself,
I'm still valuable.
I'm still valuable.
I'm still important.
I'm still important.
I'm still lovable.
I'm still lovable.
And I'm still extremely powerful.
And I'm still extremely powerful.
Like 1984 Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank
God
you for
bless
all you
you.
do.
Thank you. Thank you, audience. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thanks you for joining us.
And I will stop it